Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just be officially updating you on some more transfer rumours and gossip. So these just now 4 days remaining in this transfer window, because as you all do know, it does shut on the 8th of August, and we do know Manchester United have got 3 players on the board, and we spent around £148 million pounds. Obviously we got Daniel James in, we've got Wan-Bissaka in, and we have seen glimpses of what good signings they've proven to be so far, because both players have done well throughout pre-season. Of course, Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka have obviously still got a lot of years ahead of them, and I do believe they've got all the ingredients required to become huge successes at Manchester United. Within regards to Harry Maguire, obviously he's moved to Manchester United has not yet been officially announced. I do believe it will be officially announced very soon. I do believe he underwent his Manchester United medical yesterday. Did Harry Maguire? I do believe he's going to sign is it a 5-year contract with an option of a further year, and I think it's worth up to around £200,000 a week. We do know now, obviously Harry Maguire is the most expensive defender in the world. Obviously we do know Manchester United have paid around £80 million for him, because obviously we do know that reports emerged out on Friday saying that Manchester United and Leicester had agreed around the £80 million fee for Harry Maguire, and obviously the fee is going to exceed the fee of what Liverpool paid for Virgil van Dijk back in January 2018, because Liverpool paid around £75 million for Virgil van Dijk. But obviously Harry Maguire's long-running transfer saga has finally come to a conclusion, because obviously we do know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer identified him as his number one defensive target, because obviously I did say we need a world-class central defender, because we haven't had a world-class central defender since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand and all that, and yes, so I think Harry Maguire is a world-class central defender. I won't put him in Virgil van Dijk's calibre or level, because I think Virgil van Dijk is the best central defender in the world. He's regarded as one of the best central defenders in the world, but I still believe Harry Maguire is going to deliver the goods to Manchester United. But we had been working on getting this deal over the line for quite some time. Obviously we do know that Ed Woodward had been working on getting the deal over the line, because he had obviously been in negotiation with Leicester. We genuinely been in negotiations with Leicester for several months, but for the majority of the summer, of course, we had been in there for Harry Maguire. But now he is the most expensive defender in the world. Maybe some people will say we've overpaid for Harry Maguire, because maybe £80 million is a bit too much. I did initially say in this market £70 million is reasonable for Harry Maguire, but I did say over £70 million we are overpaying for the current player. But Leicester did confirm a while back, they did basically say they'd let Harry Maguire leave as long as we was willing to meet their £80 million valuation. So it's good now that an £80 million fee has been agreed. Some reports are actually saying it was around the £85 million fee that's currently being agreed. But obviously reports emerged out earlier on this week, obviously before the fee and that had been agreed, saying that we was willing to meet Leicester City's valuation, because for quite some time we was not willing to meet Leicester City's valuation. We was actually reluctant to pay more than £70 million for Harry Maguire, because don't forget we had two bids turned down for him. I think we had a £70 million bid turned down for him back in earlier July. But yeah, we had been in negotiations with Leicester for months. But Harry Maguire, did confirm that he wanted to leave Leicester, because he informed Brendan Rodgers the other week. He also informed his Leicester teammates that he does want to leave Leicester to obviously rejuvenate his career and take his footballing career to the next level. Because obviously Harry Maguire is not going to want to spend the rest of his playing career with Leicester. He's not going to intend on spending several years with Leicester. Obviously, he's going to want to move on, and he's going to want to go to a competitive elite level of football club. And obviously, we know we're just getting back to being a competitive elite level of football club. But obviously, we're a much bigger club than Leicester. We're a massive club, like I said. We've got massive revenues and all that, and I think we have now more than doubled Harry Maguire's wages. Or we doubled his current wages from Shaw. I think he's going to be on around I think it's a contract worth up to around 200 grand a week. So it is a 5-year contract with an option of a further year. But I do believe he underwent his medical yesterday. But now he's the most expensive defender in the world. But obviously, Brendan Rodgers had his overarching view on the speculation about Harry Maguire. He confirmed on Friday himself that Manchester United and Leicester had come to an agreement on an £80 million fee. But obviously we do know that the deal is not fully done yet, because it hasn't been fully announced. And obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has suggested out that Harry Maguire could make his debut for Manchester United next week against Chelsea, because obviously that's our first game of the Premier League season. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently suggested this out. But we do know, it fueled more speculation about Harry Maguire, when he was left out of Leicester's squad for their final pre-season game against Atlanta. Leicester did win that by 2 goals to 1. Obviously, he was absent from Leicester training earlier on this week. I think it was on Monday, was absent from Leicester training. So again, that had fueled more speculation. But Di Marzio broke out the news earlier on this week, and I do believe there was a lot more credibility in it then, when it was stemming from Di Marzio, because Di Marzio is a reliable Italian journalist. The majority of the time, he has got things wrong in the past, but he said Man United winning the final stages of coming to an agreement with Leicester for Harry Maguire. But he is our third signing this summer. But I do believe he's going to address our defensive deficiencies fantastically well. Obviously, Man United winning pole position anyway for quite some time to get him. Even though reflected back about 3 weeks ago, was it 4 weeks ago now, it was looking like Manchester City were going to get him, because actually Harry Maguire's actual preference was Manchester City ahead of Manchester United at one point. Obviously, City were seeing him as a replacement for Vincent Kompany, but obviously, City were not willing to meet what Leicester were demanding. This is why City had dropped out. I think City were only willing to pay around £65 million for the current player, but he's going to relish this opportunity now by coming here to Manchester United as Harry Maguire, and I do believe it's going to rejuvenate his career. But like I said, analysing our defensive area at the moment, isn't good enough, and I think Harry Maguire is a better option than what we've currently got in defence at the moment. And with Harry Maguire, coming in, we've got around 7 central defenders now, so I think Manchester United may orchestrate on selling one central defender. Obviously, when Harry Maguire's moved to Manchester United is fully completed, and I do believe we need to sell players anyway, because these are problematic players at the football club. I know we've bought central defenders in recent years. We bought likes of Eric Bailly. Obviously, Eric Bailly cost us around £30 million. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer instructed Eddie Woodward to get this deal over the line for Harry Maguire. Obviously, following the serious knee injury that Eric Bailly had sustained, Eric Bailly is a huge doubter for this season. Obviously, Eric Bailly is a huge doubter for this season. I think he's out for up to 5 months, but I think Eric Bailly's Manchester United career has been mainly affected, the amount of injuries he's sustained. Obviously, not only that, with his fallout on the managers, and we did buy him just over 3 years ago from Villarreal for £30 million. We bought Lindelof a couple of years ago from Benfica, but I do believe, he's exceeding expectation levels at Manchester United. Lindelof's flourishing in this Manchester United team. There was vast improvements in his second season with the club. Didn't really do well in his first season, didn't really settle in, lacks that consistency, but I think Victor Lindelof did really, really well in his second season. I do believe he's done fantastically well, throughout pre-season as Victor Lindelof. So I think Lindelof is excited about the prospects of Harry Maguire, playing alongside him in our back line. But Solskjaer did say, he wants to partner up Harry Maguire alongside Victor Lindelof in our current back line. But like I said, you've also got, Marcus Rojo in our central defensive area, and he's another injury-prone player like Eric Bailly. And I do believe, we need to get rid of Marcus Rojo, because like I said, his Manchester United career has been mainly affected with the amount of injuries he has sustained. We've got likes of Smalling and Jones, and like I said, my overarching view is I think Harry Maguire is going to be a fantastic upgrade to the likes of Smalling and Jones, because Smalling and Jones have been 2 long-serving players at the football club. Smalling's been here 9 years, Jones has been here 8 years, and there's quite a few players here that have been long-serving players at the football club, including Smalling, Jones. De Gea's been here 8 years. Obviously, he's agreed a new 6-year contract with the football club worth around £375,000 a week. You had Valencia. He was a long-serving player with the club. Obviously, he left at the end of last season. You've got Ashley Young. He's of course been here in 8 years. So there has been quite a few long-serving players at the football club. And but with Smalling and Jones, they're to being consistent now, and it was bad business in Manchester United, giving them 2 new long-term contracts last season. We've got Alex Tuanzebe in our back line. Some Manchester United fans have said, we should orchestrate on loaning him out for another season, because it may be more beneficial for his future. It'll gain him a bit more experience. But Tuanzebe did well on his loan spell with Aston Villa last season. So yeah, we've got around 7 central defenders now, when Harry Maguire, of course, comes in. Obviously, Leicester are going to make a huge profit on the player. Obviously, Leicester, only paid around £17 million for him from Hull City a couple of years ago. And obviously, Leicester have got £80 million for him, so they have gained a huge profit on the player. But Leicester were under no financial fair pressure to sell him. Leicester didn't even really want to sell him. This is why they priced him out of the transfer market. This is why, of course, they were demanding an extortionate amount, because deep down, Leicester did know how much of an imperative player that Harry Maguire was. Obviously now Leicester are going to be looking for a replacement for the current player. But like I said, Harry Maguire is well Premier League proven. That's very beneficial for Manchester United. Still in his mid-20s, so he's in his prime. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him. Still got a lot of years ahead of him. And obviously we do know that he served 2 years with Leicester. He made 76 appearances for them in all competitions. 69 of those appearances to come in the Premier League. And obviously he only initially signed a new long-term contract when he was at Leicester last summer, and he still had 4 years left remaining on his contract. contract, did Harry Maguire. The good thing is as well, Mike Phelan's going to get that reunion with Harry Maguire. Obviously, Mike Phelan, managed Harry Maguire, during his short tenure with Hull, because he did have quite a good few years with Hull. I do believe, Alex Ferguson is a long admirer of Harry Maguire, but we have obviously, been relentlessly linked with him. Of course, we was in for him last summer under Jose Mourinho, because our priority last summer, of course, was to recommend a central defender and that to come in. But obviously, we do know that we didn't get our number one targets there last summer, because the board weren't backing the signings that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend to the football club. I do believe was also tracking Harry Maguire, when he was a youngster at Sheffield United, because he initially began his career with Sheffield United, so he was actually playing League One football at that time, was Harry Maguire, so he has developed fantastically well. I do believe we've overpaid for him. Maybe £80 million is too steep, but I still think it's very good business for Manchester United. I also think it's very good business from Ed Woodward, getting this current deal and that over the line. But like I did say, we haven't had a world-class central defender, since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand. But Harry Maguire's distribution is good. He's very, very good in the air. He shows that ability to play out from the back. Maybe there's a slight element of concern about him that he isn't very fast, Harry Maguire, but I don't think that's a current issue. But yeah, I'm very, very happy about this, and it's good business for Manchester United, getting this deal over the line. And I did initially say it was good business, good business, when we got Daniel James, and of course when we got Wan-Bissaka. But obviously, that was a very, very good business from the football club as well. But I still believe we need more than Harry Maguire, and obviously we do want to get a couple of new additions in that midfield. We're also we have been in search of a right winger, but I'm very sceptical, of course, about Manchester United recommending a right winger into the football club. I don't think that's currently not going to happen. But like I said, with Harry Maguire, I think he's also demanding that he wants to become captain of Manchester United. I think Man United may consider giving him the captaincy, because I do believe he will be a fantastic leader in our back line, will Harry Maguire. So yeah, really excited about him, coming to Manchester United, Harry Maguire. Like I said, 26 years in age. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him. Don't forget he's British as well, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talent to Manchester United this summer. So yeah, I think he's going to do really well in our back line, and that's £148 million we have now spent. So that is a substantial amount we spent, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had been initially, given a substantial amount anywhere. But like I did initially say, it's going to be hard for us to get all the players there that we want, because obviously we're not in Champions League football for this season, and of course Champions League football is always very, very essential when you do want to attract players to elite level, and of course when you do want to convince your imperative players to stay at the football club. And like I said, and Solskjaer did give his overall analysis on this window, and he did say it's a difficult window, of course. It is hard to get all of the players there that you do want. He did basically say, we need to be patient and all that. This was his overall analysis on the window. I think recently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had spoken to Ed Woodward about the lack of business in this transfer market, but we do know Ed Woodward, of course, has been working on getting deals and that over the line, which is obviously very, very good. But initially, the board have got to get all the players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does want, because if the board don't get all the players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants, you can basically say the board have let him down, because the board did assure that there was going to be backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer. But I do believe anyway we're going to have a much better season this season. I think probably this season we're going to finish in the top 4, maybe in the top 3. We may even finish second. But I do believe we're going to have a better season this season, because we'll see vast improvements than last season, because last season was a huge disappointment. We finished 6th. Obviously, we didn't win many silver, and of course we failed to qualify for the Champions League. We've actually failed to qualify for the Champions League 3 times out of the last 6 seasons. Recently Leicester, they quoted out and said, Leicester recently said, they don't think Manchester United will qualify for the Champions League this season. So they initially said early on this week that they wanted a higher transfer fee up front for Harry Maguire. But yeah, so very, I'm excited about him, now coming in anyway. But I think our expectations, this season will be to finish in the top 4. Maybe to, maybe win some silverware as well, but that will be our expectations. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to exceed them expectation levels, but I initially said in the next couple of seasons our aspirations, definitely will be at that top 4. But Solskjaer was talking about our ambitions the other week, and he believes, we'll be aiming for further than 4. But I think Solskjaer's the right man, to get Manchester United, back to success and get us back, to being a competitive elite level football club. Like I said, Solskjaer is following Alex Ferguson's philosophy. He's following a policy that proved successful under Alex Ferguson. Actually, Solskjaer's preference was to get our transfer business completed by the time we initially went on pre-season, but obviously that didn't currently materialise. But even with Harry Maguire coming in, more investment is definitely needed into the squad. I can see the vast improvements now. I can definitely see the vast improvements in the Manchester United team now, because I've been analysing these games throughout pre-season. Like I said in the previous video, I didn't watch the game yesterday. I didn't watch the game yesterday against AC Milan. I know it ended 2-2, and Manchester United, of course, won 5-4 on penalties, of course, in Cardiff. That was actually the first time we played at the Principality Stadium in 13 years. But you can say, you know, we won 6 games out of 6 in pre-season, you know, 12 goals scored, only 3 goals conceded. But I can see the vast improvements already in the squad now, and after now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now is going to get more of an indication of what squad, you know, to go with against Chelsea next week. But we have done really well throughout pre-season. I think, you know, the young players have really stepped up to play. You've got Mason Greenwood, you know, he's going to be assured more playing time this season, which is absolutely fantastic. He's Mason Greenwood. He's going to be assured more playing time this season. Obviously, he's done well throughout pre-season. He's only, 17 years of age. You've got Chon, you know, he's the upcoming future. I do believe he'll get his chances this season. You know, I think, you know, we're seeing glimpses of what good signings Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka have proven to be, because they've obviously done fantastically well in pre-season. And I do believe Wan-Bissaka, you know, can be our fullback for the next decade without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, you've got the likes, I think, we've got Tommy Wayne, that's done well in pre-season. Pereira's done quite well. You know, I think Fred and that's done quite well. I think like Tuanzebe's done quite well. Diego Dalot's done quite well. So the majority of the team have done really well throughout pre-season. But I do believe, you know, we'll look much better in that attacking third of the pitch, because we've got more pace now in that attacking third of the pitch. And, you know, that's something that we did lack last season, that pace. This is why last season wasn't scoring enough goals. This is why, of course, it wasn't ruthless enough in front of a goal. But, you know, we've got Daniel James now with electrifying pace. Don't get me wrong, there's still improvements needed in his game, but he's obviously got time to do that. Obviously, you know, Rashford's got good pace, Martial's got good pace, and I think Rashford and Martial have done well throughout pre-season. I do believe they're going to do well this season, Rashford and Martial. I know there was inconsistent in the last couple of months of last season, but they have done really well throughout pre-season. I think Martial looks more effective in that number 9, you know, in that central position, and that's why I think Man United will orchestrate on playing, you know, Martial this season more centrally. Even though Martial and Rashford can both play out wide, obviously, you know, they can, you know, obviously both play centrally, but Martial seems to me to be more effective in that number, and even though he actually is primarily plays on the left. And, you know, yeah, and I think, you know, we look pretty decent now in that attacking line, but we still need to add a bit more experience in that attacking line. And this is why I did say, you know, Paul Dybala, you know, would be the right solution for Manchester United. But yeah, we've done really well throughout pre-season. But like I said, I think we're going to have a much better season this season, and that's really good indeed. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, will give more or less everybody the chance in the Premier League this season. You know, the young players, the fringe players, the experienced players, because more or less, you know, he's giving everybody the chance, you know, throughout pre-season. Obviously, I don't think Paul Pogba, you know, played yesterday, because I don't think he was you know, played in that game, did he, yesterday against AC Milan, if I'm right. Obviously, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's give his overarching view on the Paul Pogba situation. He says that he's convinced that, you know, Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United this season, even though he did confirm, was it over a month or so ago, that, you know, he said he wants to leave Manchester United, because obviously he said he was seeking for a new challenge, and he publicly admitted that he wants to leave Manchester United. Obviously, we do know Real Madrid have been heavily linked with him throughout the course of the summer, but I did initially say, based on the substantial amount we put on him, you know, this could be the stumbling block of Paul Pogba making his proposed move away from the football club, because we've said want around £180 million. Obviously, you know, that's more than double than what we initially paid for him from Juventus back in 2016, because obviously, you know, we paid £89 million for him and that. So Paul Pogba now could possibly now remain at the football club. But he's done well again throughout pre-season as Paul Pogba. I know for large portions of his 3 years since he returned to Manchester United from Juventus, he has been very inconsistent. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told Paul Pogba that he does not need to leave to fulfil his ambitions, and he believes, you know, he does know how much of an imperative player that Paul Pogba is. You know, you got Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola coming out quite a few weeks back saying that Paul Pogba is in the process of leaving the club. Paul Pogba confirmed that he does want to leave the club. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's doing everything he possibly can, you know, to try and convince him to remain at the football club, because when he's at his best form, Paul Pogba is definitely, you know, one of the best midfielders in the world when he's at his current best form, without a shadow of a doubt. And we have seen his best form at Manchester United, and we really saw his best form in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. And don't forget, Paul Pogba has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's only 26 years of age, and he did initially say that he does want to make the move to Real Madrid, and he's still got 2 years left in his contract with Manchester United, with an option to extend it by a further year. I think it did tell Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had considered that he had revealed Paul Pogba for the captaincy at Manchester United this season to try and convince him to remain at the current football club. But yeah, you know, throughout the summer, you know, Juventus have also been in for him, but I think, you know, his likely destination has been Real Madrid, of course, if he is to leave Manchester United. But I'm actually now convinced, you know, Paul Pogba, you know, could remain at the football club. But either way, regardless of what happens with him, you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still orchestrating on bringing a couple of new additions in that midfield. So we're still new So I think we're orchestrating on bringing 2 midfielders in that can replace Ander Herrera and Mario Fellaini at the football club, without a shadow of a doubt. So yeah, so we're still looking to bring a couple of new additions in that midfield, because analysing our midfield at the moment, it isn't good enough. You've got the likes of McTominay in that midfield. Don't get me wrong, he's gaining more experience. He's done well throughout pre-season, but I'm still very sceptical about McTominay. If he has got all the attributes to currently succeed at Manchester United, I've got the same thoughts about Fred. I don't know if he's got all the attributes to succeed at Manchester United. And I've got some concerns about Fred. Don't get me wrong, I think Fred's a much better solution than Matic, because obviously Fred's more mobile on the ball. He's better on the ball than Manu Matic, because I think Manu Matic is too inconsistent, he's too slow, too ineffective in that midfield, and of course he isn't getting any younger. I think he's the only player that's been the disappointment really throughout pre-season. So I've got so many strong reservations about Matic. So this is why I did say, we need reinforcements in that midfield. So we need someone who can score goals from that midfield, someone who can create chances in that midfield. And like I said, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, can't currently do that, because obviously Manchester United have been in for Bruno Fernandes for the entirety this summer. But it's good that we're getting Harry Maguire in. So obviously now we've sorted our defensive deficiencies out. Now our priority now is to recommend a couple of midfielders in, or at least try and get one midfielder in, of course. But like I said, guys, there has been a lot of speculation about players coming in, and of course players leaving Manchester United and that throughout the course. The summer Solskjaer did initially say he was adamant that we didn't need to sell players. Maybe we don't need to sell players, to generate funds and rebuild the squad even more, because like I said, we're a massive club with massive revenues. But I do believe we need to sell players, because actually these are problematic players and that at the football club. But I thought initially we was moving away from the policy of signing them well established players, because obviously with us spending £80 million on Harry Maguire, maybe we have overpaid for him, but we've got a history of spending big on players anyway. Look what we've done in recent years. We paid £8 to £9 million for Paul Pogba. I thought we overpaid for Lukaku, because we paid £75 million for Romelu Lukaku. There was also £15 million add-ons included, so it did potentially rise it to around £90 million. And overall, in the last 5 or 6 years, a hell of a lot of money has been invested into the football club. Obviously we've had different managers with different philosophies. Obviously 3 managers have been sacked since Alex Ferguson's retirement. So we have been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, but we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. We are the most successful team in England, historically. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the right man to take Manchester United forward, because he's still in the process of rebuilding. Because analysing the majority of this squad is still not his. The only players that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka, and Harry Maguire, of course, when his transfer is fully completed to Manchester United. So yeah, so I think we're still at least a couple of years off, from winning the league. I don't think we'll win the league this season, because I think at the moment City is strides ahead of us. Obviously, Liverpool are a couple of years ahead of us. Liverpool have actually done quite bad in pre-season, but like I said, you've got the likes of Arsenal now. They've invested well this summer. They didn't have a good start to the window, did Arsenal? They only got a tight budget. They only got given a tight budget, and they only got around 40 or 45 million pounds to spend. Did Arsenal? Obviously, they had a bad start to the window, but they've really turned it around. The Arsenal, they got a good signing in Nicolas Pepe early on this week. They paid £72 million for him, and I think he's going to do fantastic with Arsenal. Obviously, they got Daniel Ceballos on loan from Real Madrid. They also got William Saliba from St Etienne. I think they're also still working on getting Kieran Tierney on the board. So Arsenal have actually done good business, to be fair. Chelsea haven't done any business. They can't do any business in the next couple of windows, Chelsea, because they've got obviously got a transfer ban of Chelsea. Obviously Liverpool, I don't think they've signed anybody, but looking at Liverpool, don't really need to sign anyone, because they've invested well in the last couple of seasons of Liverpool. Obviously Tottenham, they're looking to do further more investment. They smashed their transfer record for Tanguy Ndombele for around £65 million. Was it? They got him. Obviously they got Jack Clark from Leeds, but he's been loaned back to Leeds for this season. You've got Leicester. They've got a couple of players in. I think they got Perez from Newcastle. I think they also got Yuri Tillemans from Monaco. I think they also got someone else did Leicester. So I think they've signed around 3 players at the moment. Obviously Leicester will be looking to get another signing to replace Harry Maguire. I think they've actually been in for Lewis Dunk from Brighton. So yeah, and looking at the likes of Juventus in Italy, they've done really good business this summer. They've got the likes of De Ligt on the board, who they paid a substantial amount for. They've got Aaron Ramsey, they've got Adrian Rabiot. They spent a substantial amount for Cristiano Ronaldo last summer. You've got Real Madrid in Spain. They've done really good investment. They've spent around £300 million or over £300 million on 5 players. You've got Atletico Madrid that are doing good business in Spain as well. So like I did say, it's very imperative. We do get our players, the right players to Manchester United, and that's very, very imperative. Because Solskjaer was recently talking about our recruitment policy, and quite a few people we said, look, we should be sensible over our recruitment this summer. But analysing our recruitment policy in the last couple of windows has been very poor, because we didn't get anyone in January. Obviously, we didn't get our number one targets last summer. But, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he'll succeed at Manchester United. Don't forget, he's got that experience of a manager, so he has got that proven pedigree. Not really to the highest level, but, don't forget he did fantastically well in his first 3 months at the club when he was the interim manager. Won 14 games out of 19, and that was absolutely fantastic. And, he did really, really well when he first came in, Solskjaer. Obviously, we was 11 points behind top 4, last season when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer first came in. And, like I said, it was certain games that cost us that current top 4, because obviously when he got the job permanently, it did go all wrong. We only then won 2 games out of 10 when he got the job permanently. But he did well in that 3-month period with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He did also win a couple of Norwegian titles with Mould. Obviously, he only had a short tenure with Cardiff, but he didn't really work out for him at Cardiff. But like I said, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I did watch some of this team at this day and age go and develop. Of course, when he did manage the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years. But I do believe, he will succeed Manchester United and all that. And but yeah, you can still see the deficiencies in the squad. But like I said, we had a great team under Alex Ferguson's generation. The team was absolutely fantastic. So hopefully now this team can replicate what the team did under Alex Ferguson. He's actually some players. There's still some players here from the Alex Ferguson era. Smalling's still here, Jones is still here, obviously De Gea's still here. Ashley Young and that's still here. So there's still quite a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era. But I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will exceed expectation levels at Manchester United. Well, I'm hopeful he can anywhere, and I don't want to, even if it does go wrong for him this season, I still think we need to give him more time, because I don't think we've got the structure to keep sacking managers. We've already sacked 3 managers. Don't forget, since Alex Ferguson's retirement, as you all do currently know. But I think the players we need to get rid of. We need to get rid of Darmian. We need to get rid of Rojo, so we can generate money from their departures. With Sanchez, obviously, we'd been trying to get rid of him for the majority of the summer, but obviously, we couldn't get rid of Sanchez because obviously, with his substantial wages, obviously he's the highest player with the football club. It would have been good to get rid of him, because it would have helped us. It would have helped us with our wage bill, and that it would have freed up funds. But obviously Sanchez, I don't think he's played on pre-season, because obviously I think he did say he was back in training and he was working on his full fitness. I think he had sustained Sanchez has sustained an injury whilst on Copa America, whilst he was on Copa America with Chile. I think Sanchez had sustained an injury. Obviously we know Lukaku, hopefully he can leave the football club. Obviously hopefully Dybala can come to Manchester United as part of the deal. Like I said, he's moved to Manchester United. He's dependent on him agreeing to move to Manchester United, Paulo Dybala. But like I said, guys, there is still quite a few stuff to address in the squad. With the transfer saga about Bruno Fernandes, obviously that's looking like it's going to be coming to a conclusion very, very soon. But like I updated you on my previous video, looking likely now he's going to be leaving Sporting Lisbon, which is very, very good. But now, according to recent reports, Bruno Fernandes has said he wants to join Tottenham, according to recent reports. So he wants to join Tottenham reportedly, even though recent reports did say he's moved to Manchester United. He's going to be confirmed after Sporting Lisbon's game this evening against Benfica. Obviously they do play Benfica, the Portuguese Super Cup, and obviously it's going to be Bruno Fernandes' farewell appearance. But yeah, he's definitely going to be leaving Sporting Lisbon. I think Sporting Lisbon have come to accept the fact for quite some time that he does want to leave Bruno Fernandes to rejuvenate his career and take his footballing career to the next level. But reportedly now his preference is Tottenham over Manchester United, according to recent reports. I do obviously Tottenham have held negotiations with Sporting Lisbon. They flew out to Portugal a couple of days ago and went and met up with Sporting Lisbon's president, to possibly thrash out a deal for Bruno Fernandes and all that. Obviously, it fueled more speculation, when Bruno Fernandes left Sporting Lisbon's training ground Friday morning after a meeting, to finalise his transfer exit. Obviously, him and his agent met up with Federico Varandas, the president. They also met up with the Sporting Lisbon director to obviously finalise his exit away from Sporting Lisbon. But I still believe Manchester United can get this deal over the line. Obviously, now we want to get this deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes, because he will dramatically improve his aim in that midfield. But with Tottenham, they're basically seeing Bruno Fernandes as an alternative, to Giovan Lo Celso, because actually Giovan Lo Celso has been Tottenham's main priority target. But obviously, Tottenham have come to an agreement on a fee with Real Betis. Obviously, Real Betis are open to selling Giovan Lo Celso, but they want around 70 million. Tottenham have obviously already had a £52 million bid turned down for Giovan Lo Celso. But Tottenham have got 2 players in, looking to do more investment. Obviously, Tottenham's actual Tottenham now obviously want to get a number 10 in, so obviously they have targeted Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes is predominantly an attacking midfielder, but for large portions of the summer it's been mainly Manchester United that have been in there for him. We've been in talks with Sporting, has been there for quite some time. Obviously don't forget we're only willing to pay around £50 million for his services, so I did say Sporting Lisbon's valuation does seem to be the stumbling block of Bruno Fernandes making his proposed move to Manchester United, because Sporting Lisbon value him at 70 million. I do believe they want around £64 million. Tottenham are obviously below their asking price, because Tottenham are hopeful they can get Giovanni Lo Celso or Bruno Fernandes for around £55 million. This is what it basically said, but it came out earlier. It came out earlier on this week, saying that we had reached an agreement in principle, with Sporting Lisbon for Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has already informed his Sporting Lisbon teammates that he's expected to leave this summer. And Damasio broke out the news earlier on this week, just like he did in regards to the Harry Maguire situation. He basically said, Manchester United are closer to signing Bruno Fernandes. Only reports emerged out last weekend saying that we'd agreed a fee with Sporting Lisbon for around 62 or 63 million pounds. It reported said that Bruno Fernandes was set to fly out to the UK for his medical in Manchester United ahead of his proposed move to Old Trafford. Obviously, reports emerged earlier on this week. Sporting has been denied speculation that we agreed a deal to sign Bruno Fernandes. And it also said, we'd made an offer to Sporting Lisbon, through Bruno Fernandes' agent and all that, but they denied speculation. We reached an agreement with them for Bruno Fernandes. So Sporting Lisbon do initially value him at around £70 million. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes' move to Manchester United, he's not dependent on, what happens with Paul Pogba. You got some rumours, early on this week. It got proven to be a load of nonsense, and the story's proven to be cynical, saying that we're only willing to go in for Bruno Fernandes now if we can cash in for Paul Pogba. But, we was obviously in for Bruno Fernandes even before the rumours started, coming out about Paul Pogba, leaving Manchester United. So obviously, that's not true. You had British journalists coming out the other week saying that Manchester United haven't been interested in Bruno Fernandes all summer, but that's obviously a load of nonsense. But like I said, Federico Varandas, the president of Sporting Lisbon, he come out and revealed how much Bruno Fernandes is going to cost. Obviously, the boss of Sporting Lisbon did say he doesn't know if Bruno Fernandes is going to be leaving. He said his future is up in the air, but he did give his overall analysis, and he did say clubs have been keen on signing this summer. But Bruno Fernandes' agent has obviously been to the UK quite a few times. He's looking for the best possible deal for him. His client is Bruno Fernandes' agent. His agent has held a couple of talks with Tottenham. He's also held a couple of talks with Manchester United. Obviously, Liverpool have been credited with an interest in Bruno Fernandes, throughout the course of this summer. But I did initially say, with us not having Champions League football and Tottenham having Champions League football, that could win them the race for Bruno Fernandes. So I did say that could go against us in that aspect. But Bruno Fernandes, 24 years of age, is going to fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy perfectly, because Solskjaer wants to recruit young players to Manchester United this summer, and he's primarily an attacking midfielder, and I would be excited about the prospects of Bruno Fernandes playing alongside Paul Pogba and that in our midfield. But now reportedly he wants to make the move to Tottenham, does Bruno Fernandes. Obviously he scored 30, his goal scoring pedigree is fantastic, because he's done well in his 2 seasons with Sporting Lisbon. He's scored goals in that, and he scored 31 goals, or was it 32 goals last season. But Bruno Fernandes' tenacity is good, his work ethic is good, he's pretty good in the air. He's also very, very good from set pieces, so he will dramatically improve his in our midfield. And I'd be disappointed, if Tottenham do beat us for Bruno Fernandes, because it's been mainly us that have been in for Bruno Fernandes this summer, because he has been subject to a lot of transfer speculation throughout the course of the summer, and he has been widely spoken about. Mainly he's been spoken about a move to Manchester United and all that. So maybe he won't now coming to Manchester United. It's the Express confirmed yesterday, as soon as that game again, after that game in the Portuguese Super Cup this evening, he's going to make his move to Manchester United. But he's going to cost you in the excess of around 64 million pounds. So if we were to still get him get a deal over the line for him, obviously we've got 3 signs now, will cost us 148 million pounds. It's going to take our spending up to over 200 million pounds. But initially, anyway, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been giving him a substantial amount to spend. I've already given you the latest news and what's going on in regards to Paulo Dybala. But we're actually hopeful now that that we can get Bruno Fernandes and Paul Dybala in now. But we're hopeful they're going to be apologise. Excuse me. We're hopeful now, they're going to be our next two signings, but we are still working on getting players to Manchester United. But there is now only 4 days remaining in this transfer window. But yeah, Premier League season back this week, next week. Manchester United go up against Chelsea on the first game of the season, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably knows, what team to definitely, go with. I think it is actually the Community Shield today between Manchester City and Liverpool as well. But yeah, like I said, want to keep you up to date. Harry Maguire's not been officially announced as yet. He underwent his medical yesterday and all that. Like I said, I didn't watch the game yesterday against AC Milan. I know it was goals from Rashford, Jesse Lingard. I think AC Milan's goals were from Suso. His goal was good, to be fair. I think also, Lindelof scored an own goal, was it? But yeah, Manchester United had won the game 5-4 on penalties. So yeah, very, very good start to pre-season. So yeah guys, so anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.